My name is Paige Bentley-Flannery, Children's Community Librarian in Oregon. I'm excited to be here today to talk about digital fun in the library, book apps, tech time, programming, resources, and more. Are you ready? If you have questions or comments or just want to say hi after, please email me at pageb@dpls.us. I've been a librarian for over 10 years, but for the past 3 years I've been excited about book apps. I can't stop! This one is Wild About Books by Judy Sierra, a perfect example of how you can project a book app on the screen and use it right in the middle of the book. And as kids or parents or teachers are arriving to your event, ask them a question to get them all settled in. How many green books do you see? Where's the alligator book? How many animals on this page? Screen time. Most of the time when I'm using book apps, I'm projecting it on a big screen. This one is actually a traveling screen. Most of the time your event space will have a screen all ready to go. This is our new digital page, DeschutesLibrary.org/kids/digital. Todd's showing you, our director Todd, is showing you how you can interact with the big screen. Animal book apps. Ocean House Media, and I have Ocean Media here, but it's Ocean House Media. And I'm going to say this word favorite a lot, but they really are one of my favorite media companies that actually has the rights for several nonfiction and many fiction books to turn into book apps. So nonfiction, Polar Bear, Penguin. The next one is Animalia by Graham Bass, Wild About Books by Judy Sierra, which we just saw, DK Dino Stickers. DK Publishing has put together apps where there are more interactive games and activities than nonfiction information. ABC Zooborns, and National Geographic Weird But True. Animalia by Graham Bass, a book app that not only reads the book, but has Butterfly Builder and a lot more activities on here. So here's one where you find the letters, all the things that start with the letter F, so fan, frog, and then the cover of the book, and then again, perfect example where you can use for a huge screen. There's the lazy lions. National Geographic, I've really been impressed with their books the past 5 or so years, with preschool and all the way up, and again with their book apps. The Weird But True book series, and now into a book app. Again, perfect for putting on a huge screen. You're interacting with the facts are weird but true, and then the ostrich pops up. That's weird. And then for letter recognition, find the animal that starts with G. Gorilla. Highlighting the word and following along with different letters. Again, when you're looking at book apps, you really want to be paying attention to how what they're doing with the words and how they're highlighting them, and how you can really interact either with a small group or in a huge space using that book app. Dinosaur stickers. Keep your eyes open for the dinosaurs. Bookends. Celebrate your favorite book characters. I first started using book apps in Bookends, this program here that I've had at Deschutes Public Library, where you can celebrate so many of your favorite characters like Pete the Cat, Angelina Ballerina, Big Nate, Curious George, Dr. Seuss, 5 Little Monkeys, Pigeon, Sally Goes to the Beach. Well, you get the idea. It's a lot of fun. Pete the Cat, this one is actually the app, so it's a game and activities. But if you know the music, perfect app to use on a big screen to interact with the music. Fancy Nancy book apps. Fancy Nancy has over 5 book apps. You can read the story, and then there's always an activity. This one, you can actually dance next to Fancy Nancy by taking a picture of yourself and then recording it as well. Here's all the steps you can follow along and learn how to dance with Fancy. Here's Fancy Nancy. Do you notice the dinosaurs? So with this app, you can dress up Fancy Nancy, add dinosaur stickers, and a background. Take photos, send an email, or print it out. You can put them up in your library or classroom on display, or make sure you're making a copy for your customers or kids that are attending the program to take home. Dr. Seuss apps. There's so many Dr. Seuss apps now, they had to create an app so you could keep track of all your Dr. Seuss apps. This is again Ocean House Media. Splat the Cat app and read and play Nook Book. This one, I don't know if they planned this on purpose, but Splat the Cat, when they come out with their book apps, they also come out with a new book. And this one is Secret Agent. And then I wanted to make sure I brought up Nook, because a lot of your patrons or customers are going to have Nooks. So Nook has Read and Play, where the picture book is actually you're reading it and then they'll have activities, similar to a book app. This you can't project on a huge screen yet because there's no cord, but you can project it on a TV. More book apps. Biscuit, Miss Spider, Splat the Cat, Tacky the Penguin, love Tacky, and Hugless Douglas. There's also several book apps for older kids or chapter books that have turned into book apps. This is Big Nate and perfect for storyline, creating book apps. You get to actually add all these different things. The characters, again, you can print it out, put them up on display. Fancy Nancy, and there's Llama Llama at the bottom. I could spend all afternoon talking about art programs in the library. This one is Van Gogh and the Sunflowers by Lawrence Anhold. In this book app, you can actually be Van Gogh and create your own masterpiece, and then again print it out and put it up on display. This is actually a Starry Night app where you can swirl and twirl and really feel the movement of Van Gogh. Most of all of the major art museums have created a book app for their permanent collections. The Modern Art Museum, or MoMA, has created an art lab where you can do all sorts of activities with their permanent collection. This one I created where you can do lots of different doodles. Again, you can print them out and share them. But you don't have to be fancy. You can just paint like Olivia. This one's Olivia Paints, and there's different backgrounds. This one she's in space. You could be doing different colors. I'm using blue today. One of my favorite new programs to do for outreach into schools is called Power of Stories or Random Flash Stories. You've probably heard of it. It's usually called Battle Decks. But this is 10 slides, 2 kids, 2 minutes, 1 story. It's a fun way to use a screen. Now this one I used with all books that they were already reading. So Hatchet, Gary Paulson, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then also a theme that they were working on. This one had to do with poetry. So again, 2 kids, and they were sharing a story, and they just turned out hilarious. And I also used ice cream. I wanted to make sure, I love doing things that are interactive. So every time a screen that popped up had ice cream on it, the whole classroom would say, ice cream. So again, great way. If you want to know more about it, please email me. But they actually came up with the titles. This one group came up with Power of Stories and then Random Flash Stories. Tech Time, Tech Display, and Tech to Go. We have a tech display that we have up all the time in our library. We have an iPad, a Nook, a Kindle, and 2 other digital pads. We rotate them through. Information about checking out ebooks through our Overdrive platform. And then also this can, it text to go. So we can put it in a suitcase and travel to all sorts of outreach places for events. And then when I do a tech time in the library, I have all of these readers out so parents or teachers can really get their hands on and see what it's all about. And when you're doing a tech time at your library, you want to make sure you're having fun. So here's all the book apps, and I put all the book apps on a stick with a huge tray. So when the parents or teachers are entering the room, book app, and then afterwards seeing how many times they can figure out which book app. Most the one that everyone gets stuck on is Big Nate. Resources. 3 years ago, you would look at an iTunes store and it would be impossible to find a book app. But now, look at this page, Apps for Kids. This is on the iTunes store, and right away you see Pigeon, Cinderella, Roxy, nonfiction, Random House Publishing, PBS Kids. They've really come a long way, and also with their education section as well. Publishers with apps. We're going to see this changing, but right now, some of my favorites and some of them that you can really focus on their website and find apps through publishers, Random House, Penguin, Scholastic, Disney Digital Books. Digital resources. Just like when you're looking at magazines and some of your favorite school library journal, Publisher Weekly, Kirkus Review, Hornbook, library journals that you'll be looking at every day, you're going to start looking at information about books and especially book apps through Twitter, Facebook, and then here's some of the reviews too. But it's going to be more online. We'll see this changing. So here's Ken, which I think you heard her speak, and she's pretty amazing. I am really enjoying collaborating with her. This is her blog, Little Elet, and it's a perfect example of sharing digital resources, early literacy, and on. Noisy Crow apps. Now I didn't mention a lot. There's several resources out there where moms have created blogs, and I'm only going to mention one, and this is Cool Mom Tech. They're out of New York City, and I think they just have some great ideas to follow through with programs and activities as well. Ocean House Media, my favorite. Here's our library website for kids and digital. And then most of you are already following me, but it's a great way to keep track of all your apps and book apps is through Pinterest, and mine is pinterest.com/pgbooks. Follow me on Twitter at ChapterPage1. My top 3 favorite book apps today: The Heart in the Bottle by Oliver Jeffers. Great for drawing, and then your drawings on the wall. Press Here. Tacky the Penguin. Love Tacky. Again, my name is Paige Bentley-Flannery. If we were doing this in person, all of your hands would be up with questions right now, and I'd look like this. I know this was really fast, and I'd really love to share more ideas with all of the book apps and how I use them for programs, tech time, and other areas in the library. Please email me, and I hope to hear from you. Thanks again. This was fun.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.